From whispers in the shadows of Hollywood to a moment that stopped the world in its tracks, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner have officially turned speculation into reality. But what really happened that night at the Oscars? And why is everyone suddenly convinced this is more than just another celebrity romance? Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share this video, because what you're about to hear isn't just a love story. It's a story about power, image, timing, and a moment that could redefine Hollywood's most unexpected couple. The cameras were flashing. The red carpet was glowing. The world's biggest stars had gathered for the most prestigious night in entertainment, the Oscars. But this year, it wasn't just about awards, performances, or fashion. All eyes were locked on one unexpected pairing that had been surrounded by rumors for months. Timothée Chalamet, known for his artistic depth and carefully curated public image, stepped onto the carpet with his signature confidence. Moments later, Kylie Jenner appeared, radiant, poised, and impossible to ignore. And just like that, the energy shifted. Because this wasn't coincidence. This wasn't accidental. This was intentional. Then came the moment that sent the internet into a frenzy. The cameras caught them together. Not hiding. Not avoiding attention. But existing in the same frame with a quiet confidence that spoke volumes. A glance here. A subtle smile there. Small gestures, but powerful enough to confirm what fans had been speculating for so long. Within minutes, social media exploded. Headlines were written in real time. The world had its answer. But beneath the surface, something even more fascinating was unfolding. Because this isn't just about romance. This is about two completely different worlds colliding. On one side, Timothee, an actor celebrated for indie films, critical acclaim, and a reputation for being selective and private. On the other, Kylie Jenner, a global business mogul, a cultural force, and a central figure in one of the most influential families in entertainment. Two brands. Two identities. Two audiences. And somehow, it works. But here's the question that no one can ignore: was this moment purely emotional, or was it strategically timed? As the night continued, their presence became more natural, more effortless. They weren't performing. They weren't forcing anything. They looked comfortable, like they belonged exactly where they were. And yet, there was one detail most people missed. Industry insiders suggest that appearing together at an event as massive as the Oscars is never random. Every step, every appearance, every camera angle, it's all calculated. The timing was perfect. The exposure was global. The impact? Immediate. So what does that mean? Is this relationship being carefully introduced to the public? Or are they simply choosing to take control of a narrative that has been written about them for months? This is where things get even more intriguing. Some entertainment analysts believe this moment marks a shift, not just in their relationship, but in their positioning within the industry. Timothée expands his reach into mainstream global audiences, while Kylie steps deeper into the world of film, art, and prestige. But beyond strategy, there's something that can't be scripted. Emotion. And that's exactly what people saw. A quiet laugh. A soft exchange. A sense of ease that doesn't come from planning, it comes from connection. Then came the defining moment of the night. As the event reached its peak, the cameras once again found them. No grand gestures. No over-the-top displays. Just a simple, genuine interaction that said everything without saying a word. And that's when it clicked for everyone watching. This isn't just a rumor anymore. This is real. From speculation to confirmation. From curiosity to global obsession. And now, the biggest question isn't whether they're together, it's what happens next. Are we witnessing the rise of Hollywood's next power couple? Or is this just one chapter in a much bigger story still waiting to unfold? One thing is certain, their appearance at the Oscars has changed everything. Because in Hollywood, moments like this don't just happen. They define what comes next. If you want to stay updated on the latest developments surrounding Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter might be even bigger than this one. And just when the world thought it had seen everything, the story took another unexpected turn. Because what happened after the camera stopped rolling might be even more revealing than what the world saw on live broadcast. As the official ceremony of the Academy Awards began to wind down, the atmosphere inside the venue shifted. The tension of competition faded, replaced by celebration, exclusivity, and carefully curated moments behind closed doors. This is where the real Hollywood conversations happen, where deals are hinted at, alliances are formed, and relationships are quietly defined away from the spotlight. And this is exactly where Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner became even more intriguing. Eyewitnesses began to notice something different. No longer just a pair navigating the attention of flashing cameras, they appeared more relaxed, more in sync. Their interactions felt effortless, almost as if the pressure of public scrutiny had been replaced by something far more genuine. Conversations flowed. Laughter came naturally. And most importantly, there was no attempt to hide. That alone spoke volumes. Because in Hollywood, privacy is often the first line of defense. But here, there was a shift. A deliberate openness. And it didn't go unnoticed. Soon after, reports began circulating about their appearance at one of the most exclusive after-parties of the night, the legendary Vanity Fair Oscar party. Known for its carefully selected guest list and high-profile interactions, this is the place where public images are often redefined. And once again, they arrived. Together. Not as a coincidence. Not as a rumor. But as a presence. Inside the party, sources describe a completely different dynamic. No longer framed by the formal structure of the awards ceremony, Timothee and Kylie were seen moving through the crowd with a quiet confidence that only amplified the intrigue surrounding them. At one point, they were reportedly seen in deep conversation, away from the main crowd. No cameras. No staged poses. Just a moment, unfiltered and real. And that's where the narrative begins to shift even further. Because moments like these can't be manufactured for headlines. They exist beyond strategy. Beyond PR. Beyond expectation. But still, questions remain. Was this the soft launch of a relationship that had been building behind the scenes for months? Or was this the beginning of something that neither of them originally planned, but chose to embrace when the timing felt right? As the night continued, another layer of the story began to emerge. Industry insiders started connecting dots that most fans hadn't considered. Over the past year, both Timothee and Kylie have been navigating pivotal moments in their careers. Timothee, continuing to solidify his reputation as one of the most versatile actors of his generation. Kylie, expanding her already massive business empire while maintaining her status as a cultural icon. Individually, they are powerful. Together, they become something else entirely. A fusion of influence across industries. Film. Fashion. Beauty. Social media. It's a combination that doesn't just attract attention, it commands it. And perhaps that's why this moment feels so significant. Because it's not just about who they are. It's about what they represent. A new kind of Hollywood dynamic, where traditional boundaries between celebrity worlds begin to blur. But then, just as quickly as the narrative seemed to settle, a new question surfaced. What happens when the spotlight fades? Because while public appearances can define perception, it's what happens in the quiet moments that defines reality. And according to sources close to the situation, those quiet moments are where things get even more interesting. There are whispers, unconfirmed, but persistent, that this connection didn't start recently. That behind the scenes, away from headlines and speculation, there had been a gradual build. A series of low-key meetings. Private conversations. A connection forming long before the public ever caught on. If true, it changes everything. Because it means what the world witnessed at the Oscars wasn't the beginning. It was the reveal. And that distinction matters. Because a reveal suggests intention, timing, control. But here's where it gets even more compelling. Despite all the speculation, all the analysis, and all the headlines, neither Timothee nor Kylie has made an official statement confirming anything. No interviews. No social media declarations. Nothing. And yet, they don't need to. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest confirmation of all. Every glance. Every shared moment. Every appearance. It all adds up. And the public is paying attention. Fans are dissecting every detail. Body language experts are weighing in. Media outlets are racing to keep up with a story that seems to evolve by the hour. And still, the mystery remains. Is this the beginning of a long-term relationship that could redefine both of their public identities? Or is this a fleeting moment, one that feels massive now, but may eventually fade into the endless cycle of Hollywood headlines? That uncertainty is what keeps people watching. What keeps people guessing. What keeps this story alive. Because in a world where everything is documented, analyzed, and shared instantly, genuine intrigue is rare. But this is different. This feels like something unfolding in real time. Something unpredictable. And that's exactly why it's captivating millions around the world. As the night finally came to an end, and the last of the after-parties began to fade, one thing was clear. The Oscars didn't just celebrate film. It created a moment. A moment that shifted attention. A moment that sparked conversation. A moment that may very well define the next chapter of two of the most talked about figures in modern pop culture. And now, all eyes are on what comes next. Because if there's one thing Hollywood has taught us, it's this. The story doesn't end when the curtain falls. Sometimes, that's exactly when it begins. So stay close, stay curious, and don't look away, because the next move from Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner might not just surprise you. It might change everything. And just when it seemed like the narrative had reached its peak, a new layer of intrigue began to unfold, one that no red carpet moment could fully capture. Because beyond the elegance of the Academy Awards and the exclusivity of the Vanity Fair Oscar party, there's an entirely different battlefield where stories like this are truly decided: public perception. In the hours following their appearance, the internet didn't just react, it erupted. Clips of Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner flooded every platform. Close-up angles, slowed-down footage, lip-reading attempts, and endless commentary dissected every second of their interaction. What may have lasted only moments in real time suddenly became hours of analysis online. And this is where things take a dramatic turn. Because in today's digital age, a relationship isn't just lived, it's interpreted. Every smile becomes a statement. Every glance becomes a headline. Every silence becomes a theory. And for Timothee and Kylie, this level of scrutiny is both powerful and dangerous. On one hand, the attention amplifies their influence. Their names dominate search engines. Their images trend globally. Their presence alone generates millions of engagements within minutes. This isn't just fame, it's digital dominance. But on the other hand, it creates pressure. Expectations. Narratives that they don't control. And yet, despite all of this, something about their dynamic continues to feel unusually grounded. Which raises an even bigger question: are they intentionally navigating this chaos differently? Because if you look closely, there's a pattern emerging. Unlike many high-profile celebrity couples, there's no oversharing. No coordinated social media reveals. No perfectly timed couple photos posted for maximum engagement. Instead, what we're seeing is restraint. And in a world driven by constant exposure, restraint is rare. It creates mystery. It builds anticipation. It keeps people watching. And perhaps most importantly, it gives them control. But just as this theory begins to take shape, another unexpected twist enters the conversation. Insiders have begun hinting that this pairing could extend beyond personal connection and into something even more strategic, collaborative influence. Not in the traditional sense of brand deals or public campaigns, but in a more subtle, long-term alignment of industries. Think about it. Timothee represents a new era of cinema, artistic, daring, critically respected. Kylie represents a global empire of beauty, branding, and mass appeal. Individually, they dominate their respective spaces. Together, they bridge them. And that kind of crossover doesn't just attract attention, it reshapes it. Suddenly, audiences who followed Timothee for film are paying attention to Kylie in a new light. And Kylie's massive global fan base is becoming more engaged with Timothee's work. It's a mutual expansion. A shared amplification. And whether intentional or not, it's working. But here's where the tension builds again. Because with every new layer of attention comes a new layer of speculation. Are they moving too fast? Are they prepared for this level of scrutiny? Can two individuals with such different public identities truly align long-term? Or is this dynamic built on a moment that feels powerful now, but may not sustain over time? These questions don't have easy answers. And that's exactly what keeps the story alive. Because uncertainty fuels curiosity. And curiosity fuels attention. As days pass since that unforgettable Oscars night, the ripple effects continue. New reports emerge. New sightings are rumored. Every public appearance, no matter how small, is instantly magnified. And still, through all of it, Timothee and Kylie remain consistent in one key way. They don't confirm. They don't deny. They simply exist within the narrative, allowing the world to watch, interpret, and react. And that silence? It's strategic in its own way. Because by not defining the relationship publicly, they keep the story open-ended. And an open-ended story is far more powerful than a closed one. It invites speculation. It encourages engagement. It keeps audiences coming back for more. But just when it feels like we've reached the edge of what can be understood, a deeper realization begins to emerge. Maybe this isn't about proving anything at all. Maybe it's not about labels, announcements, or public validation. Maybe what we're witnessing is something far simpler, and far more complex at the same time. Two people, navigating connection in the most public environment imaginable. Trying to maintain something real, in a world that constantly demands performance. And if that's true, then everything changes. Because suddenly, this isn't just a celebrity story. It's a human one. A story about balance. About privacy versus exposure. About authenticity versus expectation. And that's what makes it resonate on a global scale. Because while the names may be larger than life, the emotions behind them are universally understood. Connection. Curiosity. Uncertainty. Hope. As we move forward, one thing is clear, this story is still unfolding. The Oscars may have been the turning point. The reveal. The moment that brought everything into focus. But what comes next? That's the real story. Will they step further into the spotlight together? Will they retreat into privacy and redefine the narrative once again? Or will they continue this delicate balance, revealing just enough to keep the world watching, while keeping the truth entirely their own? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is undeniable. The world is invested. Watching. Waiting. Analyzing every move. Because in an era where attention is the most valuable currency, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner have become the center of a story that feels bigger than either of them individually. And maybe, that's the real headline here. Not just romance. Not just speculation. But the creation of a cultural moment that refuses to fade. So as this story continues to evolve, stay locked in, because the next chapter could arrive when you least expect it. And when it does, it won't just be another update. It will be a moment the world won't be able to ignore. And just when it seemed like every angle had been explored, the narrative took yet another unexpected turn, one that shifted the conversation from what we saw to what we didn't see. Because while the world was busy replaying clips and analyzing every second of Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner at the Academy Awards, a quieter story was beginning to surface behind the scenes. A story about timing. About control. And about what it really means to exist in the spotlight without being consumed by it. In the days following their now iconic appearance, something unusual happened. They didn't follow up. No coordinated paparazzi walks. No curated Instagram posts. No official statements. Nothing. And in an industry where visibility is often maintained at all costs, that absence became louder than any headline. Because suddenly, the narrative lost its fuel. Or at least, it should have. But instead, the opposite happened. The silence created a vacuum, and the public rushed in to fill it. Speculation intensified. Theories became more detailed. Fans and critics alike began constructing entire timelines, piecing together past sightings, rumored meetings, and subtle clues that now felt more significant than ever. And this is where the story transforms again. Because what started as a question, are they together? Has now evolved into something far more complex. How deep does this go? Some observers began pointing to patterns that had previously gone unnoticed. Moments where the two were in the same city at the same time. Events where their schedules aligned just a little too perfectly. Intersections that, on their own, meant nothing, but together, painted a very different picture. If even a fraction of these connections are accurate, then what the world witnessed at the Oscars wasn't spontaneous. It was inevitable. And that changes everything. Because inevitability suggests build-up. A quiet progression. A connection that didn't need the spotlight to exist, but eventually stepped into it when the moment felt right. But here's where the tension rises once again. Because the more inevitable something feels, the more people begin to question its authenticity. Was this always going to happen? Or was it carefully guided to feel that way? In Hollywood, perception is everything. And perception can be shaped. But authenticity? That's much harder to manufacture. And yet, despite all the theories, all the skepticism, and all the analysis, there's still something about their dynamic that resists easy explanation. Something subtle. Something unspoken. Something that doesn't quite fit into the typical patterns of celebrity relationships. And maybe that's why it's so captivating. Because it doesn't follow the rules people expect. It doesn't give clear answers. It doesn't resolve neatly. Instead, it lingers. Evolving with every new detail. Expanding with every new interpretation. And just when it feels like the story might begin to fade, another ripple appears. A new sighting. A new report. A new moment, small on its own, but powerful in context. And each time, the same cycle repeats. Attention surges. Debate intensifies. Curiosity deepens. Until it becomes clear that this isn't just a passing headline. It's a sustained narrative. One that's being written in real time. And here's where things become even more interesting. Because while the public continues to analyze from the outside, those closest to the situation suggest a very different reality on the inside. One that's far less dramatic, far less calculated, and far more human. According to sources, when the cameras aren't there, when the noise fades, and when the expectations disappear, what remains is something simple. Conversation. Connection. Presence. No grand performances. No strategic positioning. Just two people navigating a bond in a world that rarely allows anything to stay private. If that's true, then it introduces a powerful contrast. The world sees complexity. They experience simplicity. The world sees strategy. They feel spontaneity. The world sees a story. They live a moment. And that contrast might be the most important piece of this entire narrative. Because it reminds us of something often forgotten in the spectacle of celebrity culture. Not everything is designed for the audience. Some things exist beyond it. But even as that idea settles in, another question begins to surface. Can something that exists so naturally survive in a space that is anything but? Because the reality is, the attention isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's growing. Every move they make, intentional or not, will continue to be observed, interpreted, and amplified. And that creates pressure. Not just on their public image, but on whatever connection exists between them. Because when millions of people are watching, even the smallest moment can carry enormous weight. And yet, there's still no sign of retreat. No attempt to completely disappear. No effort to shut the narrative down. Instead, what we're seeing is something far more nuanced. A balance. A careful, almost instinctive navigation between visibility and privacy. Revealing just enough to remain present. Holding back just enough to stay protected. And that balance? It's incredibly difficult to maintain. But so far, they're doing it. Which brings us to the moment we're in right now. A moment of anticipation. A pause between chapters. The Oscars may have been the spark. The after-parties may have been the confirmation. The silence may have been the strategy. But the story itself? It's still unfolding. And as it does, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This isn't just about what happens next. It's about how it happens. Will the next appearance be more public or more private? Will there be a defining moment that shifts the narrative once again? Or will the story continue to evolve in subtle, almost imperceptible ways? Whatever the outcome, one truth remains constant. The world is watching. Closely. Carefully. Waiting for the next signal. The next clue. The next moment that adds another piece to a puzzle that still isn't complete. And maybe, that's exactly why the story has captured so much attention. Because it refuses to give everything away. It invites curiosity instead of closing it. It builds tension instead of resolving it. And in doing so, it becomes more than just a headline. It becomes an experience. A story that people don't just read, but follow. And as long as that curiosity remains, as long as that tension continues to build, as long as the balance between mystery and revelation is maintained, this won't just be remembered as a moment from the Academy Awards. It will be remembered as the beginning of something much bigger. Something still taking shape. Something still finding its direction. Something that, at any moment, could shift again and redefine everything we think we know about Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. So don't look away. Because the next chapter? It might already be unfolding, right now. And just when it feels like the story has stretched as far as it can go, another dimension quietly emerges, one that doesn't rely on what's confirmed, but on what's felt. Because beyond headlines, beyond speculation, and beyond the viral clips of Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner at the Academy Awards, there is something far more powerful shaping this narrative. Public emotion. Not just what people think, but what they want to believe. And that's where this story takes on a life of its own. Across social platforms, fan communities have begun forming distinct narratives. Some see this as a genuine, unexpected love story, two individuals from completely different worlds finding common ground in a way that feels almost cinematic. Others remain skeptical, questioning whether what we're witnessing is carefully timed exposure designed to maximize cultural impact. But here's the twist: both sides are fueling the same outcome: attention. Because whether people believe in the romance or doubt it entirely, they're still watching, still engaging, still amplifying every new detail that surfaces. And in today's media landscape, that level of engagement is everything. But then, something even more interesting begins to happen. The conversation starts to shift away from "are they real?" to "why does this matter so much?" Why has this particular pairing captured global attention in a way that so many others haven't? Why does every small interaction feel significant? Why does the silence between appearances feel louder than the appearances themselves? The answer may lie in something deeper than celebrity culture. It's contrast. Timothee represents unpredictability in art, choosing roles that challenge expectations, building a career on nuance and depth. Kylie represents mastery of visibility, understanding how to command attention, shape narratives, and maintain relevance in an ever-changing digital world. Individually, they are masters of their domains. Together, they create a paradox. And paradoxes are compelling. They invite questions. They resist simple explanations. They keep people thinking long after the moment has passed. But just as this idea begins to settle, another layer of tension enters the story. Because with heightened attention comes heightened scrutiny, and scrutiny has a way of testing even the strongest narratives. Suddenly, every past relationship is revisited. Every public appearance is compared. Every detail is placed under a microscope. And the question quietly shifts again. Not just "are they together?" but "can this last?" It's a question that lingers in the background, unspoken but ever-present. Because history has shown that the brighter the spotlight, the more difficult it becomes to sustain something real within it. And yet, there's still no clear sign of strain. No visible cracks. No sudden shifts in behavior that suggest discomfort or retreat. Instead, what we're seeing is consistency. A steady, controlled presence. Moments that feel intentional, but not forced. And that balance continues to hold. For now. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Because while the public is focused on the present, some industry insiders are already looking ahead. Projecting possibilities. Imagining outcomes. And what they're suggesting